Okay, this is the Lake Management Committee meeting. It's a hybrid Zoom and it's being recorded. If there's anyone else out there that's recording, please notify us so we can add you to the list.
He's requesting to record.
Okay, you're on.
Who was that requesting to
Cliff.
record? Clifton Clark.
Okay. Alrighty, let me take attendance. So Norm Cheever.
Here.
Mike Coombs. Here. Malcolm DeBay.
Here.
Mike DeBay. Here. Dick Reynolds here. Scotty Graves. Zoom. Eric Muller. Here. Paul Murphy is not here. Paul Yocum. Here. Okay, got everybody accounted for. Minutes from the last meeting, the 10:23 meeting.
Yeah, and I missed that meeting, so.
So, any comments, changes, additions?
I make a motion we accept them as written. Answer it wrong.
Almost second it.
Mike D, Norm, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
I have to abstain because I wasn't there.
Minus, yeah, minus,
I wasn't either. I wasn't here last meeting.
Yeah.
and Malcolm. Okay, and. Plus. And I have to do the affirmation here. So Norm Cheever.
Aye.
Mike Coombs.
Aye.
Malcolm DeBay.
Aye.
Mike DeBay.
Aye.
Dick Reynolds, aye. Scotty Graves.
Staying, I wasn't there.
Okay. Eric Muller, you weren't there. Paul Yocum.
Aye.
Okay. Affirmed. That takes care of that. Any public comments? No,
Nope.
seeing none, hearing none, none. All right. Concom update, Norm?
There's a couple items. We had an NOI for 142 Berkshire Avenue. For a proposed repair of a deck, installation of 2 stone walls and a set of stairs. Interesting to note, this is a location that in the past has never applied for anything, but went and did it, so we made progress.
Good.
And it was approved.
Got the video.
You did?
I did.
Awesome.
Took a while, but I've got it.
Had an RDA at 24 Veteran Street for removal of 10 hemlock trees that were diseased, and we approved that.
Okay,
And we had a discussion on Bill H 3415, which is a new bill to hold contractors liable for unpermitted work in buffer zones, which we endorse.
So is that a state bill?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that. I thought that was local.
well, that's a state bill. Yeah. Yep,
All right, so I misread that when
That would-
when I saw it.
That would change the game.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
that's a good one.
I had submitted a similar proposal to conservation over the summer,
To do it locally?
do it locally. They just, they didn't want to take it on at this point in time.
Okay, be nice if they do it statewide. That's,
Yes,
then it's easy.
yep.
Hmm.
Nothing new on the stone wall in 485 Lakeview Street, or Lakeview Drive.
Mhm.
The last meeting of the Conservation Commission was canceled. That was the Suffolk Conservation Commission. So that's the report from Concom.
Okay, I would ask, we'll cover it, no, we won't. 157 Feeding Hills Road is on the, planning board's purview.
Yeah.
That's where the guy wants to permit those 4 buildings that he built without any permits. That's the restaurant there. And the issue that,
Oh, yes,
that we had pointed out was they were built in the floodplain.
right.
That down at the tea house or whatever?
Yeah, yeah, and if those things get loose, they're gonna totally clog the bridge that goes under Feeding Hills Road, which already went out in the hurricane of 55, so they'll put that somewhere in Westfield. So, hoping that Concom will take a position that keep them out of the floodplain.
Okay.
And that's all I had a comment on there.
Okay.
And And next we have MPIC update,
No new information from MPEC.
nothing new, okay. Moves fast. All right, CRC update. Michelle, are you on by any chance?
So, you know, and they've had the last meeting of the year
Okay.
already. And, they are selling tickets for the winter dinner slash dance.
Mm-hmm. And that's at Breast Rail, right?
Yeah.
What's the date on that?
Knew you'd ask.
I'll put it in the minutes.
I can find out. I don't know off the top of my head.
All right, date question mark, if you can just text it to me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Paul. Okay, water level, which is pages 10 and 11.
We're a little high.
Yeah, but what prompted pages 10 and 11 was the question, which is on page 11, that came from John Goddard. He got an input from a resident, a lakefront resident, that's saying the level was up, you know,
6
6 inches,
Yeah, they
which
did
it's
leak
not,
their
it's
dock.
up 2 inches.
Yeah.
And that's what I explained. I said, but people really, they don't understand the difference between horizontal and vertical. They see horizontal movement of 6 feet.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
That's
so
all right.
I explained it.
Yeah.
I think enough said. And let's see. The next thing was the hydrilla treatment, which is pages 12 through 14.
And that went well.
That went well, 4.5 acres. Um,
A nice compact.
yeah. You could see the locations, small, which is, that's good news, you know,
Yeah.
and it's good to get rid of it now, so that it's not, growing first thing in the spring. And, it's really minimal treatment, 4.5 acres out of 460 something, 62 or whatever it is.
And the water's gotta be cold now. It's gotta be going way.
Oh, yeah,
down.
it dropped way low.
Probably below the temperature actually do it now.
Oh, yeah, they couldn't do it now. And we paid the bills for Solitude and Stantec, those are done. I think that those are the last bills for this season. I don't think anybody will be doing any more, contract work on the hydrilla. But that was good news that it was only found in those small places. The shallow area dredging earmark, which is pages 14, I stuck these in after because it came out in the penny saver. So we had a good meeting. It was a Teams meeting also, right? Or was that Zoom? Doesn't matter. With the Senator Marks people, Mass DEP was on, DCR, Alphabet Soup. It was quite the meeting. Very, very productive. And as a result, they asked me to give them examples of dredging projects, because we've done probably, I was without counting them right now, but I would say it's a good half dozen that we've done over the years, over the decades. And the first one was by the North Ramp. Then there was the one for, and I may have the order wrong, but we had the Point Grove Road culvert, which was done as part of that state project that I got the grant money for to do that culvert. And then similarly for the South Culvert. And then the fishing pier, redoing of the North Ramp launch area and redoing of the South Ramp launch area. Those are both state projects. 3 of those were state projects. So, they're all done on Congamon. The other one was the old section of the canal, a piece that's between the mainland and the island. So we have data on all those. I sent to these people as requested. I sent them copies of the notices of intent, the water quality certs, the you know, all the different forms that you have to file for doing dredging, which is what they asked for. And then I gave them, I've sent them a lot of other information that we have, you know, yours on water quality and lake level and just, gave them kind of, you know, here's what we do. And because what they were looking for is experience in doing a project like that. Would we know what to do, how to do it? And the answer is yes, been there, done that. So they were happy, and I'm staying in touch with the people. Oh, and DCR was on that, and that's our contact for the hydrilla. So that was she was very helpful. And kind of gave us an attaboy for all the work that we do with them. So that's that. Any questions on either of those, you know, the hydrilla treatment or the shallow area? So,
No,
and we still have the 100K. It did not get taken back, the CPC funding, CPA funds that were put in for a buffer in case we, you know, we overrun whatever money we can get from the state. Hopefully we don't have to touch it. And so the 159 Berkshire,
what page is that on?
that's page 15.
Oh, that, okay.
And that's, as you know, is right now they're doing excavating. It also, it looks like, I can't be sure, but it doesn't look like they're following the path of the stream. It looks like it's quite a bit to the north where they've excavated quite a bit. And they've got a pile of rock down there. There's a machine there, but it's way past vegetation. Nothing will grow now, absolutely nothing. And they got to tell them, stop, you know, just stop.
Wait till spring, maybe?
Yeah, wait till spring.
At this point.
But we also
They
want
were
to see,
supposed to get it done.
we want to see a plan, we
Yeah.
want, well, but better to leave it alone
Right.
than to make a mess that's gonna wash into the lake.
Right.
But we want to see a plan that they're gonna follow, because this, from what I saw of the plan, did not have enough details, but it was showing that they were going where the existing stream was. That's not where they're digging right now.
Making a new stream.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, basically looking for a timeout, a cease and desist. And so stay on that. And then the DEP, the last two sheets, 16 and 17 is what we had today. So between Eric and myself, and the five of them, 5 or 6 of them.
Yep.
And so people from Mass DEP, from TRC Environmental, who's their consultant,
Right, it's contracted by them.
contracted by Mass DEP. And it's looking at Congamon water quality and ways to improve it. All 3 ponds are impaired waterways. They're categorized as 3 numbers, one for each.
They're officially impaired waterways.
Right. And so we went into the details, they went into the details about what, because they start with the word polluted and then defined, you know, you gotta, polluted makes it sound like somebody's dumping,
Toxic waste, yeah.
yeah, toxic waste into it.
What they mean is we have a lot of phosphorus.
Yeah, and so at any rate, we discussed all that. They were, I think it was very, very productive. It was a lot of sharing, info share between their experiences and what we've done already. We explained what position, you know, what lake management does and what the town has funded to do and the grants we've gotten, the 319 grants. Actually, our first dredging project was not a 319, I forgot about that. It's a Lakes and Ponds grant that I got. I got 4 of those that I wrote and got 4 of them. And so we actually did dredging with one, that was the the north boat ramp, off the north boat ramp where the old Anchor Inn used to be, and that was just apparently all dumped right in the lake. Because when we dug that out, it came out with burnt timbers, you know, everything under the sun was just pushed into the lake back then.
Mhm.
That was sometime, I believe, in the fifties.
Yeah.
I wasn't here in town. The another one that we got, which was, I actually designed, for Point Grove Road. One of the worst outfalls that we had was right by just before you get to the tunnel going to North Ramp. Off the north ramp, kind of maybe 200 feet south of the tunnel entrance on the ramp side. There
Okay.
was an outfall there, and it was sending in all kinds of
Crap.
crap. So what I did is had a 9x9 or 8x8, I think it was maybe 8x8, like a two-piece concrete structure. And we went down inside it, had a guy build a wall inside it, build a partition inside it.
To
So
stop it.
it comes in and settles in there. And then we purchased the vac truck that next year. And so we could suck out all the stuff, and that cleaned that one up. Well, when the new culvert got put in, we had to take it out because it was in the way of the new culvert.
Wow.
So that's when we put in the base separators and eliminated that entirely. Base separators are only 6 feet in diameter.
You know, so in getting ready for this meeting that we had, I called Matt, their consultant, and he and I had maybe an hour and a half phone conversation, actually. You know, I'd sent him data and we had an extensive discussion about, you know, what's already been done and, you know, they were aware of some things, they weren't aware of a lot of things. So it was a very, you know, it was a good discussion, and they could see that, you know, we had our hands pretty well on, you know, what's up. And, you know, I kind of gave him our wish list and said, hey, you know, that's just the wish list we came up with. If you guys have better suggestions for how we can more effectively improve water quality, we'd love to hear about it. So there's two different approaches that they can take under the auspices of their charter. And one of them is this approach, this TMDL approach.
Total mass daily load.
Where you know, where you set certain standards, you know, for the total amount of certain things you're going to allow in there. And then basically you allocate those out and budget them and what have you. And then the other approach is what they call this 9-step plan. And that looks to be more flexible for us. And one of the things, the legislation regarding S319 grants has changed. And to be eligible for one of them, you have to have gone through that 9-step thing.
Process.
Otherwise, you're not eligible
Yeah.
to get the S319 funding. So our put was, you know, that's the direction we want to go. You know, they said, okay, you know, we're going to give you guys a chance to think about it more, what have you, and then provide feedback to us. But they could see why we were saying that's probably the direction we want to go. And then it'll be interesting to see, you know, what we get through this. We've already got some contacts.
Yeah.
And they may bring up some ideas, you know, we didn't think of. That would be great.
It's very positive.
You know, they were, you know, they liked the ideas that we had.
And what we've done.
And what we've done. You know, they can see how the NRCS work, you know, feeds the water quality mechanism as well. And so that's you know, that wouldn't be a thing they would take on. It's like, okay, NRCS engaged in that. And the scale of that is much more federal anyway.
They don't have the money to do that.
Both the money and the state to state thing. One of the interesting things we hadn't thought about, I think, or I hadn't thought about, is as we get into this process with them, they have a mechanism to engage Connecticut as well.
Hmm,
And there's a benefit to
For stormwater.
Connecticut because then they can access funds this way. So assuming we go down this 9-step path and assuming they're amenable, then one of the early steps in that is to engage Connecticut to try and get them to participate in this as well. And so we may need to tap you to go through your Concom channels there as well.
and I
Right.
also go through, DPW, my contact
Right.
there. Because if we can get them from both directions, from the conservation end and from the to go do it end. And the DPW guys are the ones that fund that kind of work. I learned that, they changed the budgeting process in Suffield.
Hmm.
And so when we get money from Suffield, it comes out of the DPW budget.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah. I
He's a
learned
good
that.
guy, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
a pretty
very
good guy.
You know, so for example, you know, all the, you know, for literally decades, there's work gone on here to put in all these flow separators in the infalls here. To, you know, to take out material before it would get into the lake. And I took a bunch of data that shown that that's been extremely effective. That really hasn't gone on to our knowledge, that hasn't happened on the Connecticut side.
Right.
So that was one of the things that came out of this meeting that I hadn't realized, if we can, because we were thinking we're working with Massachusetts people, it's Massachusetts.
Yeah.
But no, there's a federal connection here where we can link in Connecticut, and it would be nice to get them to go for some S319 grants to do the same things we did over here.
And they would help facilitate that. This Mass DEP and TRC would help facilitate sharing with Connecticut,
So that would be.
helping them get money, you know.
Well, I do have a member of the Suffield Conservation Commission that wants to party to the NRCS project.
Oh, great,
That'd be really good.
terrific.
And by the way, since you mentioned that, we've got for the last meeting that we had, and hopefully tomorrow they'll be on, because it was scheduled. We had Granby involved, we had Suffield involved. Westfield was supposed to come in, and I don't know what happened last minute, they didn't chime in on the Zoom meeting, well, it's a Teams meeting, but I had gone through Mike McCabe through the mayor, and he had somebody lined up to do it, and that somebody didn't show.
So when's the next meeting?
Tomorrow. I'm looking right now for somebody, I don't see the Zoom link in my
Are you
invite.
gonna come here, or are you gonna?
I think I'm gonna have to do that one by Zoom. is
All
what
right, I
I've
can
got going.
send you the Zoom link if
Yeah,
you send me a note.
Okay, and then, but I think maybe send it to Norm as well, and he can, you know, with.
Are you gonna be here, or are you gonna be on Zoom?
Is it 11:30?
Yeah,
I'll try to be here.
But if it's, you know, maybe too late, but if we can engage with the Suffield guy at least, you know, let him know what's happening, and it's once a month.
Yeah,
I will send him-
I haven't heard anything for a while.
Okay, yeah, it's once a month, so this one is tomorrow. And then there's one next month, and I forget what date that is.
Did you say Granby's on that too?
yes,
Granby was.
because it goes into Granby.
Well, who's the Granby guy that you're talking, that's on it?
Yes, I gotta think, it was
They
the,
showed up for the first meeting.
Okay, no, I'm just wondering, because I lived on there, that's.
Yeah,
what-
And it's not you.
No, I don't, and I'm glad.
and they responded right away, by the way, it was I went through the
Granby.
equivalent of the town
Yeah. I
town
know
manager.
Granby too, though, I know.
Yeah, I went through the equivalent of the town manager, and then, I was running a dialogue with, maybe it would change on and off. But the one that's like Margaret is here, you know, like the secretary,
Administrator or whatever.
administrative
Yeah, yeah,
secretary,
yeah.
she arranged all of it,
Okay. No, I was just wondering who was doing it.
yeah. But that was very productive, and it was good, I was glad they were on. And because when you think about it, we've got to work all the way down to Route 20, so that's Granby.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're going to do the study and the design the way they do it. And they're also going to look at Great Brook. You know, our suspicion is that will come in at a cost that's too high,
Exactly.
but You know,
But even if it's
let's
phase
not
one and
prejudge
phase
it,
two,
let's see
you
what
know?
they do. But I think one of the things we're trying to make sure is that they stay. They are required to do some work regarding the 500-year flood,
Yeah.
but we just want to make sure that that doesn't become the focus of the
Yeah,
activity,
We're
because.
not fixing the,
Because that'll, that'll just turn into a thing that'll never happen, because it'll be so expensive that nobody will ever do it. And, and the other thing that's been pointed out, and I pointed it out today, is the other reason not to worry so much about that is if we have a 500-year flood, whether or not a few houses on the lake are washed out is not gonna be the biggest concern.
insignificant problem.
There will be bigger concerns. So I understand they have to do the calculation, please go right ahead and do it, but let's see if we can focus on, floods we have today that we could obviate.
I don't know what Hurricane Diane was classified as in today's classification, but it took out probably 20 bridges and culverts in Southwick alone.
All right.
And roads, whole washing out of roads, just wholesale destruction.
Yeah,
So
that wasn't a 500
it
year.
wasn't a 500-year flood.
Right,
So if you
so-
think of 500
Right,
year,
if we get a 500-year flood,
Yeah,
there will be.
Build an ark.
problems.
did it take out that road down by you down there by Phelps? They shut that road down, did you see that?
Oh, yeah, I don't
So
know.
I was wondering if that had done that.
No, I.
Or
no,
did the
they-
town
they
just
were
shut
in the middle
that?
of they were in the middle of working there. I don't know what happened.
That's weird.
they've been working on a bridge there for
Yeah,
a while.
That's the bridge, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
that whole road shut, and it's
Now
gonna be
they
shut till
the road
spring.
down.
Oh, no kidding.
You can't go through there
Yeah.
you can't shut down till
Oh my
spring.
God,
You can't get into Granby that direction.
that way.
Yeah, it's right by his house.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they did, but yeah.
Huh.
So anyway, that's part of the thing. We want to make sure our voice is in there and they, and they focus on stuff that. We have regular flood level events that we can see, not insanely expensive ways to be able to mitigate those things. So let's see if we can
Yeah,
get that to get funded. And I suspect when they're done, the answer is gonna be Canal Brook is your best bet.
we
And,
certainly don't want to not do Canal Brook.
right, and then if they wanna add in Great Brook, I think that would be a terrific thing, but I'm not sure. And we don't need it, but it would be a good thing to have.
I think ideally, in my mind, if they could do the design work for Canal, for Great Brook now,
Mhm.
so that you can the design, you put it there, it's done.
Right,
And then if they have to go looking for additional funding, then you can say, well, here's a shovel-ready design, ready to go.
right.
Because I think even great, Canal Brook is gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
That's not
And-
chump
But
change.
not compared to the 10 million or whatever it's gonna cost for the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and the canal is easier to access
yeah.
than Great Brook is.
Oh, yeah.
Great Brook's a lot tougher.
Yeah, it's one of the
But
things.
even if they got to take care of some of the really bad choke points on Great Brook, maybe that's what comes out of this, is they say, well, if we took care of this, and this, we could spend a couple mil and.
Clean it up.
And give you.
Significantly
some outflow.
improve,
Yeah.
yeah,
So we'll see where it goes. It's a long process.
Yeah,
We had the PIFR, now they're in this, evaluate and design phase. You get through that, then the next step is, okay, does it get funded as a project? There's a whole, there's public comment period, there's an environmental impact study, there are a lot of steps. to
lots
this.
of
But
paper.
one of the
three
things-
administrations later, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
But one
That's
of the
the
things
problem.
that Ken pointed out in this is, he said, a lot of times you look at projects like this and the logistics winds up killing the project because you can't get access. He said, you guys have an unusual situation where a large percentage of the area of the length that you want to. be
As a
able
road or
to-
rail
to
trail
do
next
something
to it.
with, it's right there.
Yeah, Yeah.
It's, and that's not common to have a situation like that.
and whereas, again, not to beat a dead horse, but Great Brook is a lot tougher.
Yeah.
It meanders something,
All over the place.
So
Okay.
anyway,
anything else on that? Anybody else have any questions on it? Any other topics?
I did get the date for the CRC party.
Okay.
It's December 5th.
I'm just gonna mention, Dick, you and I talked about this, I'm mentioning it, uh. I've worked on a draft, process for, algae bloom decision-making and communications. I'm just starting it, Dick and I have gone through it, I'm meeting with Doug Moglen to talk about it. You know, what I'm trying to do is get a straw man starting point and then bring more people in, you know, so it's not gonna be all sewn up, but just kind of have the draft of, here's the structure of it, you know.
A flow chart.
You know, get it, it's right, it's a simple flow chart so that you can just see it.
Mhm.
And then, you know, we'll expose it to other people, that, oh, you forgot this, you need to add that, you know, we'll get there.
Right now, it's strictly in the thinking stage.
But I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. And where the communication lines will be very few.
And
So
very
that,
clear.
so that, you know, so in other words, where you get an official answer will be one place. Not, well, there's this and there's that and there's that, and there'd be like,
Yeah.
no, you look there. That's it, that's the place.
Yeah.
And,
You don't have to pick up rocks and look under them.
right, so that's part of what I'm hoping, because I think that would simplify, then when social media takes off, you can go, well, I understand the one official place is here, this is what they're saying. And because we can see what happens where
Well,
in the current situation, social media gets a hold of it and then it turns into something else.
it's everything,
Right.
Yeah.
everything.
And I think
Yeah.
I think it would be a mistake for us to try and go out there and plant seeds in all the social media when we change stuff. It's like, well, no control over it. Just, you know, let's just pick
Keep
one
it simple.
official thing. And anytime somebody says anything, well, this is the official. That's it.
And post it on the website.
Yeah, that's essentially what I'm suggesting, if it's workable, is that we have a spot on the town website, you know, for the lake
Good.
status. And that's the official place.
That's it.
And that's the
Nobody
only.
has to
official-
Go to official terms that you can live with all the time.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
You know,
right,
closed, not closed, whatever.
Right,
whatever.
Make them,
Right.
don't make them up as you go, because that's kind of what happened last
Right,
time.
Yeah.
right.
You've seen that before.
Well, and there were a number of cooks.
Oh, yeah.
Too many.
Yeah.
So, you know,
That's why you gotta
we
reduce
wanna
the
kind of
cooks right
define the
away.
number of cooks, but then in the process, in the end, there's one communication.
Yep.
All the cooks need to agree to one communication, and that's the only communication.
Yep.
Yeah.
And any, you know, you wanna say anything, that's the thing you say, we post it on the town
Mhm.
website, and that's all there is. And,
Yeah. No interpreting.
right,
Anybody else?
Yeah, I just want to mention one thing. Can you hear me there?
Sure.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, I know Malcolm and I kicked this around the other day. We certainly have realized that as fast as we clean out the weir gates, they get plugged up. The town realizes this beaver situation is just kind of a losing battle. So are we in a position to ask the DPW on a weekly basis to get down there and clean out those weir gates?
I think we have to keep an eye on them, and because we do have to notify Concom first.
Right.
And we don't want people just going down and doing their own thing. And what the rule says is that, what our agreement was, is that we notify Concom through Sabrina, and take photos before and after. So when you guys see a blockage there, get a good shot of the blockage from the upstream side, and then send that to me. And when our guys go down there, and they did this time, and they will continue to do it. They took photos before they started doing anything. Then they did the work, they showed in process, and they took a photo when they were done. So they have, just snapshot from your phone, good enough.
and the process with Concom has worked very well.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been, the response has been very fast.
excellent.
We're not talking days,
Yeah,
we're talking
that's the only
hours.
part of the
The-
problem. That's really, hey, Scotty, this is
The
Mike.
the Conservation Commission, of which I was at that meeting, and so was Norm, they have given us permission to handpick
Right.
without having
Yes.
to get in touch with them and let them know and let them know and let them know.
Right.
But yes, when it becomes the DPW or a private contractor, it had to have permission from, to
Correct.
run it through Concom. So I'm asking again, since we know from experience, as fast as I can hand pick that thing and make it perfectly clear, within
It's
2
gonna
to
be
3
filled.
days, every week, it's clogged back up. So I'm asking,
But
I-
again, Scotty, we can't do, and I don't wanna speak for Norm, but I don't see that would be within the purview of how it was stated. They simply ask that when we see an issue that needs a machine, that they get notified, and then they will in turn respond and say yay, verily, and Sabrina responded immediately. It was an email with, with a photo, and it got instant response.
so you think there's never a chance of us procuring a piece of equipment to do some of this work ourselves?
No,
But that's a good point. I think the biggest issue we have is the beaver dams down in Suffield.
yeah,
Because Suffield has given us a carte blanche to take them out anytime we want with a private contractor.
Right.
He said, do whatever you want. But then we can't get DPW from Southwick to do it because they won't go into.
They're not allowed to.
Into Suffield. So I think that into the canal down in Suffield, they can't go down there. So I think that the major issue there is the weir gates really don't matter because Mike and I have seen this week
Yeah.
that the water just levels off there coming up from down below.
Mm.
So we need to be able to get in and get those out on a timely manner.
You mean
Begging
beaver
people,
dams?
the beaver dams,
yeah,
begging people to go in and work for us. I had him go in there 3 times in a month. This guy has been slammed by me. I mean, I had to call.
Well, he's been in there 3 times, the DPW been in there twice,
At
plus the
work.
hand picking.
Yeah,
So I mean, that's not the issue, that's fighting the battle, that's not.
but you can't get rid of the beavers. That's an impossible
That's
deal.
really the issue we gotta address.
You can't do it. You're coming from Granby down below. They're
Now,
coming
beavers
from,
don't go upstream the dam, they dam below.
but they're coming in from over at Cannon's Farm. They're coming in from Goose Pond. They're coming down the canal. You got
There's so
3
many
different
of them.
towns involved, 2 different states involved,
Yeah,
and nobody wants to kill the beavers. So what are we gonna do? The only way we
But
can,
even if they do want to, they still can't.
they can't because you can't
keep up.
you can't kill the beavers on the bike path. You're not putting any traps on the bike path.
no,
You're just not gonna do it. So the beavers they gotta stay there. So we gotta figure out how to get rid of the dams. And the hardest part is getting the dams out of there in a timely manner. Begging people to do our work is gonna sooner or later wear out
well, I
everybody.
think we'll have to have further discussions with.
You're
Suffield
saying, let's,
And,
can we establish this as a contract, so to speak?
Bingo.
Yeah.
That's the answer right there. I was gonna bring that up
But
next.
that would have to be funded by Connecticut. We cannot fund work in Connecticut.
Well, see, that was the point that the DPW director down there said. He put his hands in the air and said, you guys can do whatever you want.
Right, but we can't.
We don't wanna
use
pay
town-
for it.
But we can't use town funds to work in Connecticut,
Okay,
period.
so that's
End of
the,
discussion.
throw another issue on there.
So.
I just
So-
want to add one more thing, just for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Whatever the
Let's-
DPW does when they clear out the weir gates, for the most part, when we hand pick them, we accomplish the same thing. If not, certainly just as well. The only reason we ask the DPW to do it most of the time is because we get tired of doing it all ourselves.
So
Go
what
ahead.
about how about if we reach out to CRC?
We
Because,
can,
because they can fund something in Connecticut
yeah, that's a possibility.
and, Michelle is always looking for ways to
So
help.
if she can do that, she could fund John Kane to at least get paid on this. This
Yeah.
guy has spent,
And they could, we can't.
this guy has spent so much time, we should send this guy a $250 gift basket. I'm not kidding. The amount of work this guy's done for us in the last.
So, right, so why don't we?
That's a
reach
good
out-
idea,
reach
CRC.
out to CRC, because if this could be set up as a regular contract.
Do you want to talk with, Michelle or? do you want me- Okay, that'd be
You know,
good, okay.
if this could be set up as a regular contract, then it's not,
Then we won't have to wait a week
Right.
or a week and a half to get him in there.
Right,
Now, because he's been so busy, he had to go in there at lunch with 2 guys.
yeah,
They went,
And- And
That's a good
Susie,
idea.
I'm sorry to interrupt. One more twist on that. CRC has a lot of younger talent than this guy. So possibly we could get some volunteers from CRC to form a group of guys that would be willing to go down there and hand pick, which would be okay with Concom, would be okay with Sabrina, to help us. You know, we could keep an eye on it and say, hey, you guys, can you get down there and do it? All I'm saying is we're getting a little old for this
Oh, yeah.
exercise.
Yep.
This
But
guy,
Paul's
sure.
gonna. take this-
79 next week, baby.
Yeah,
yeah.
Scotty.
Is
yeah,
that,
81 here.
Hiding in Florida right
Yeah,
now.
there he is.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm still working on the first heart.
Wow.
Cool. All right, I think we've beaten that dead
Yeah.
horse enough.
Anything else,
No, I make a motion.
Malcolm? And a second,
I'll second.
Eric, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Silence
Hey,
is